How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So on this video, we're going to be going over one of the best and most reliable and maintenance-free cars that Honda makes, and this is the first generation Honda Hrv. Now, when these cars initially came out, they did come with some issues, including a ton of water leaks and some rear shock issues. The bushings were popping out, making a ton of noise. We had nothing but difficulties with those for a while, but it seems like those problems are behind us. And generally speaking, this car overall has been great. Now, this car was here for a recall, and we noticed had been an accident. We smelled some coolant, and we did a radiator and a condenser on it. Of course, that's not the car's fault, but it was here for a recall. And one of the biggest recalls that it had, in my opinion, was a trans software issue, and we have seen some transmission failures. Maybe 1 to 2 a month, which isn't a big deal. We do about 100, 150 cars a week, so that's a really small number in comparison to the amount of cars we are seeing. But it is an issue, and that would be my biggest concern with this car if you're purchasing it, buying out your lease, or buying it used. So just something to keep in mind. And those transmission issues seem to be from 16 to 20. We haven't seen anything really on the newer cars. So obviously we're on the second generation, but that one's too new, still too small of a sample size, so I'm not going to get into that. This video is specific to the first generation Hrv. Now, like I said, the trans, we've had some issues. The engine is an R18. This engine, or a variation of this engine, has been in a Civic since 2006, and these are very reliable. My only complaint is that it's a little bit underpowered. So if you're coming from a Pilot or something with a little bit more pep, like a 1.5T, you're definitely going to notice a lack of power, and that would be literally my only complaint. But on the flip side, these are one of the most reliable engines that Honda has ever made. So that is definitely positive. Now, what are some of the maintenance you can expect? Well, obviously your fluids, your dry belt, your spark plugs, filters, tires, and brakes. And that is essentially it. Bushings don't really go too bad on these cars. The struts have been really good besides the initial, it wasn't really the strut. The initial issue was the strut bushings were coming out. They're literally popping out. So other than that, these cars have been relatively great and very, very maintenance friendly, very, very reliable. So somebody asked me to make this video what I think the most reliable Honda is. For the price, you can't beat it. You can get an all-wheel drive. It's very versatile. It's great in the snow. You could take it on some, minor back roading events, nothing crazy. If you wanted to do some camping, this is perfect. You don't really have to worry about getting stuck in some sand or some mud, or obviously snow, which is a lot more probable and likely in a two-wheel drive Hrv. Now, like I said, they do come in all-wheel drive, and I'm in Jersey, so we see some snow, and it's definitely something you would get an all-wheel drive here. But if you're obviously in the southern states, then that won't even be something needed, and you can save some money on that. And it's also very economical. There's a lot of interior space, and this is a Hertz car. So, like I said, it was here for a recall, but tons of interior space. Fold the seats down. You have plenty of space if you wanted to. You can still put your kids in the back. Very safe. So overall, I think this is by far one of the best Hondas made for all those reasons that I have spoke about. Another concern that I would have, and somebody asked me to make a common issue video on these cars, but to be honest, there's not many common issues at all. I can make one if you guys want me to. There's a couple of things, one of them being this parking brake switch. We do see some failures, and again, it's really about the cup holder placement, and you can see there's some stuff here, and sandwiches, debris from food, and drinks do spill on here. We do see some failures sometimes, so we have to replace these. It's not a big deal breaker. It's not covered by warranty. Anything liquid damage will not be covered by warranty, but it is something you have to consider if you're obviously purchasing this car, and just got to be mindful of what you put here and try not to spill anything. Now, Hondas typically have a big rotor issue that they warp very quickly. Not so much in this case. I don't know if I've ever even seen one of these with warped front rotors. Not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that I haven't really seen that trend or anything of that nature like I would see on a Pilot and the bigger cars, Odysseys, Ridgelines. That's typically when we see a lot of warped rotor issues. We also don't see rodent damage, which is another issue we see with the 1.5Ts, and that we don't see on this car. So that is all positive stuff. And overall, this is, like I said, and I'm just being straight honest here, guys, relatively one of the best Hondas to own, if not the best cars to own. If you talk about affordability, maintenance friendly, versatility, and as far as fuel economical reasons go, then overall, I can't say enough good things about this car. And that's just what it is. Honda makes some bad stuff and they make some really good stuff. The HRV was something great that they did. The 1.5Ts, if you guys are followers of my channel, if you've seen a couple videos, I am 100% not a fan of the 1.5Ts, and that's something they decided not to address, even on the newer cars. So could this use a 1.5T? For sure. The power would be great. Like I said, this is underpowered, although that would make this car, instead of being a contender, something that would be a negative. So I'm glad this only has the R18 1.8 liter naturally aspirated engine. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you guys found this video helpful, please make sure you guys give me a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below, give me some content ideas. I'm open to any idea, and I'm I have obviously a fleet of cars here that I can really do any sorts of video on, and I'm going to be doing videos just like this going on into the future. And anything new and common issues that do arise on any Hondas, I will have some footage and make sure you guys have the latest information on those. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.